Forex trading is the most profitable business in the world. It's what they call Formula One in business or finance. So I started studying trading about 2 years ago. And the idea was to trade for myself. And I probably
Trading stocks or trading forex?
Trading forex and trading indices and a little bit gold. And I realized it's possible to do it. It's possible to make it profitable, but you have to be extremely focused, and it takes a lot of time. I made pretty good money last January when I spent some time on it, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do because it took my time. I wanted to be free, do whatever I wanted when I wanted, go fishing, hunting, to the beach, drinking with beer, meet up with friends. And the only thing I was looking for was that company that could provide me knowledge or where they could show me that they really were serious and did trade with profession and there were no crooks behind the company. Because if I knew that they were good and they would not run away with my money, that was really the things I was looking for. Because I had tried some companies before that actually took my money and ran away after 6 months, 8 months. So this time I was really careful and I was really skeptical. Maybe just like the Danish people are very careful. I'm going to tell a joke later about the difference between the people in the Nordics, because it's quite funny actually. After my observation of meeting the different and explaining to people all over the world, because they think that the people in the Nordics are the same, but they're definitely not. So if I could find that company that really gave me the confidence that this would be long-term and they would make profitable trades and they would not try to steal my money, then that would be the jackpot. So when I was introduced to CFX, the first thing I was interested in, who is behind this company? Are they official people? Are they actors that act on behalf of somebody? Is there any history? Have they made success in the past? And I was introduced to this company in November 2019, just after the official launch. The guy who told me about the company, he said, "Oh, I joined in August because I knew that when they're going to launch in November, I would have made back all my money because they will definitely not go bust before November." And it took about, at that time, 3 months to double your money because they were trading between 10 to 12% a week. So that was his excuse and his reasoning. I did not have that reasoning because the company just launched. There was about 8,000 people in the world that joined the company at that time. I had just lost almost $100,000 in fraud, 2 companies. So I wasn't really happy to spend any more money.
Was those investing companies? I trade a lot.
These were trading companies.
That's why.
These were companies like both were supposed to do trading in, one was called Olymp Mining. Mm-hmm. The other one was Universal Trading. Okay. Both companies had come up with papers, lots of documents, and it looked all right. I just did not know if the people that I've seen on pictures were the real people behind the company. The one company, actually, I was told that some people I knew had sent some other people to meet them, but apparently those people were not telling the truth. Anyway, so this time I said, I'm not going to do anything unless I'm really certain. So the first guy who introduced me, I said, "So how do you know these are serious? How do you know who they are?" And he said, my upline, he went from Ireland to Panama where they had this kickoff. He paid for 2 professional traders that he brought with him. He paid their flights, accommodation. And they were able to sit down for 1 day and go through everything, the whole system, checking the money, following that there was real trading going on. So they were very convinced that this was real. It was professional people, serious people. And he was convinced that this time he was doing something right, and he was not afraid anymore to promote this to other people. I still felt that I really wanted to meet those people and do it myself, but at the time I had quite a big consulting job, so I didn't have the time. In January it finished. At that time, the company was launching in Asia. So I asked a friend of mine who I just signed up, why don't we go to Asia, meet the marketing director, meet some of the people in the company, see them in the eyes, ask them all these questions. And my friend had at the same time hired a private investigator that he knew from before in the US. These two guys were based in the US. And you could call him a super hacker, although he called himself an investigator. So he had gone through everything. We paid him, he's normally $10,000 a day. We had a special deal because of some other favors. And he could not find anything. So we went to Malaysia to meet the company there. Actually, we went via Thailand to sign up some people we knew, and spent 3 days with the company people and went through more than 300 questions. Really got to know these guys, and we were confident that these were real serious people behind the company, and they were smart, and they had something very special, unique. So we flew back to Norway. Then we decided, okay, let's really go for this. But we were already engaged in other businesses that we could not just drop. So we had about 2-3 hours a day that we could put into this initially. I flew to Sweden, to Stockholm, to be at a conference for another company which were doing arbitrage, a company called Jubilees. I don't know if you heard about it. And I met the founders there. I was not that impressed. And I met some people that I told about this company, and they were quite interested. So I went back to Norway. One of the guys I met was a Norwegian guy, a lawyer, and he said, I want to know more about the company you're investigating, he said. So he signed up with a small contract. I went through everything about the company. I introduced it to some of his connections, and they were very impressed. So they started introducing more and more people. So from roughly first week of February to 1st of March, I had about 100 people, 120 people, and a turnover, which was important for me to get. To move to the next level, I needed a certain turnover, and it made me an executive of this company, which is kind of a leadership rank that you can reach within a few months if you really put some effort into this. At that time, I still had not been able to meet the founders. I had been able to listen to them on speeches and saw them on some presentations. But because of COVID-19, I could not travel. But I was getting more and more confident that these were long-term, they were good, smart people, they had a system in place that really worked. I actually found out that through some other people in the finance world that this IT guy, one co-founder, which was the guy behind the trading system, had really a very good reputation in New York for finance companies. Because this was his job before. He was programming trading systems, algorithms for finance companies. And we obviously saw the trading. We were introduced to CFX, which was the broker. We spoke to them directly. We saw evidence that money was transferred between the companies. We also saw the live trading. So at that time, I was confident that I was not afraid to even introduce my mother or grandmother to this company and help them to make money. I didn't tell you this, but in December when I signed up, I signed up in November, I signed up my children, 2nd of December, and I gave this as Christmas presents to all of them. It's quite interesting because, as I can show you also, my kids have not done anything. They have 0 sign-up people. But because of the system having this matrix income, as you probably have showed or seen, the matrix is a very unique income that everybody can take part of as long as somebody do something. Of course, if nobody do anything, it will stop. But as long as somebody refers somebody. So my son, the lucky boy, has now more than 4,000 people in his matrix. And he has done nothing. He still has made last month almost $8,000 from the matrix. That was a $300 contract given 14 months or 15 months ago now as a present for Christmas. He just signed up on a $20,000 contract only from the money he made from this just over a year.
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing. Next month he's going to make $10,000. The following month probably 12, 13,000.
Father of the year.
And I calculated with him when we met for Easter that in 2 years' time it's possible that he's going to make between $500,000 and $600,000 doing nothing, which is quite insane.
Can I ask you, can you explain me this matrix that you are talking about? I have a
So-
contract.
Yeah, so the way it works is that every time somebody withdraw money, 20% is taken as a fee. This fee is not going to the company, but it's used to pay 3 different bonus models. 50% goes into what they call a forced matrix, which everybody get a position in. 10% is going to what they call a matching matrix, meaning that everybody you sign up, you will be matching 10% of everything they get in matrix. So for example, if you have 10 people that you sign up, they make $1,000 each, you get $100 from each of them as well, in addition. Plus whatever you made from the matrix. I made $20,000 the last 2 weeks from this matrix, plus 2,000 from matching, $22,000. My sponsor made about 36,000. His sponsor made about $45,000. And that's in addition to the team bonus, which is called Unilevel, in addition to Fast Start, and in addition to trading. From trading, I have now one contract with $100,000 and one with $70,000. Just those 2 contracts made me about $7,000 this last week. So as you can see, it's extremely profitable. I actually, although I started with $300, this was paid by my friend, so I technically never spent a penny for this. But I also helped him make a lot of money because I was his #1 income earner, having about 65% of his organization. And now it's looking fantastic. I mean, going from last summer, I was around $5,000 a week. Now, this last week was, well, it's been around $20,000 to $25,000 a week now. So since August to now, it's 5 times more.
Tax-free.
Well, it's not really tax-free unless, I mean, it depends. I mean, there are different tax rates in Norway, Denmark. In Norway, it's 22% tax on financial income. But of course, initially, I'm spending a lot of time traveling, travel expenses, rebuying. I'll also spend money on some other investments. So initially, it's not going to be very much tax. It will be much more tax next year, unless I decide to move the business to a more tax-friendly country, which I'm looking into.
But that's up to each person.
Everybody has to decide for themselves.
So you just build a company around CFX now to pay for the expense that you use to promote this.
Yeah.
So you can just, it's just a company.
Mhm.
And I have a question, and I hope you don't take it bad, because
Yeah.
I as I say, I had a contract and I signed, some people too. But I know that in all, Danske Bank will not make transfer to CFX.
Mhm.
I know there is some issues, and this is the way I'm a businesswoman.
Yeah, yeah.
Being since I was very young. So
Yeah.
for me, when I see opportunity is important,
Mhm.
but I want to do things legally.
Yeah.
I don't touch nothing that is not legal.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm sitting here today to talk to you about
Yeah.
this. So I want to know, I know there is a product.
Yeah.
And make it legal because
Yeah.
there is a product that we
Yeah.
sell. I know that you can get more wealthy than the person who puts you on. This means it's not a pyramid.
That's right.
Yeah.
I make more money than
Then the person
7,800 people that joined before me.
Yes. But why is that there is this problem with CFX and why is that when I go to the dashboard, when I go into my page,
Mhm.
I can't see where the money is being traded,
Mhm.
or can I?
Well, you can see some of it. I can tell you that just to start with the issue with banks. 6 weeks ago, I think it was, I was interviewed by the business paper in Norway, Dagens Næringsliv, same as Børsen, together with another, the first president in the Nordics. They wanted to make out that this was a scam. They interviewed some banking people from the biggest bank. They interviewed the #1 finance professor. And they all said, no, this is not possible. So we were willing to do this interview to try to show them how it worked, how we could trade and make that kind of money. So just during the interview, we were trading and showing them how to make 4% during an interview of 2 hours. They didn't want to write that. I also said that this professor of finance did not really know anything about trading because he had been telling in the previous edition that people that believed in this was really stupid, or he called them Coco. So I called him Professor Stupid or Coco. And I said, even though he's a professor in finance, he has no clue about trading. Because this is something you never read about in the business papers. They don't teach it at business school. I went to business school myself, the Norwegian business school. Before I joined business school, I was hired as the youngest ever Forex trader in what is today Danske Bank, at the time Kreditkassen, age 18. And I was competing with more than 2,000 people from business school, people with PhD, everything in. And there was 3 people that got the job. And I was interviewed by some psychologists, and they said that the reason we believe that you are the one that did the best test results of everybody is because you have not been educated yet or trained. Because your brain is not damaged by having all these assumptions or thinking in a different way. Because they said that normally nobody should be able to do that many calculations right in such a short time. I mean, we were tested for like full day. First it was, I don't know, I think we were 8 hours working hard on this. And this is true. I've been spending $20,000 in education of trading last year and the year before. One of the ladies that was in the program, a grandmother from Philippines, no background, no education. She started with $1,000 and made $1 million in 3 months trading. And when people hear that, they don't understand how that's possible but this is really.
If you understand the trading, you understand.
But the thing is, this is about following a recipe. If you do, it's like baking a cake. If you don't follow the recipe, it's going to be a complete disaster. If you know what to do and follow the recipe, it could be success, extreme success. But I can tell you, we spoke to the Norwegian financial authorities that actually put up a warning about CFX. And we said, so is it illegal? They said no. So why did you put up this warning? Well, somebody called in and said this must be a scam. So we put up a warning. And we said, well, why did you not check out with the company? No, we didn't do that. I said, why? No, because we assumed that they would contact us if there was a mistake. And this company is now in 196 countries. Why would they? I mean, they don't follow every single country. But then the Swedish authorities copied it from the UK and Norway. A lot of other authorities did the same. So really, when you dig into this, nobody has really found anything or done anything that is reason to think it's illegal. They just assume things. And that's how stupid these authorities actually work, because they don't really check it out. They just assume things. And there is, of course, most likely an agenda behind this. Banks are, of course, losing a lot of money if people withdraw money from their banks. I actually called because the biggest savings bank in Norway, just before Easter, put up a warning about CashFX on their home website. So I called the guy that was referred to and said, so how come you put up this warning? Oh, we took it from this newspaper article. And I said, but do you realize that you cannot just do that without having any evidence? And after all, how would you like it if I was telling all your customers that they should not use your bank anymore because you're taking away an opportunity from your customers to make more money than they do from your products? And he said, yes, that's true. But the problem is that if this is really right, then we have no products to sell anymore because we can only sell products that make 5 to 10% profit. So he actually admitted that this was a big problem for them because they could not compete. And if all these customers took out all the money, the bank and the banks has issues. So I said, but the thing is, why don't you sell products like that yourself? Your trading desks are making big money and you don't even know it because you don't even work in. I mean, these are known facts for the last 40, 50 years that a few people in some of the biggest banks make huge amount of money in trading. If you look up the accounts for Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan.
Yes, they're a little bit high today. They have a good day.
Most of their profits come from Forex trading. The same with
Citibank,
Danske Bank.
Bank of America.
Yeah. So why do you think the banks don't want to inform about this? Why don't you think it's never written in the papers? Because they don't want to give away their most successful income.
But do you inform people, because this is a little bit important, that they can lose all their money?
Yeah, we inform that. We inform that everything is a risk, and technically you can lose all your money. But as you say, so far the company has at least showed with past experience that they've been successful. But as I said, everything is a risk. But I mean, you could be killed tomorrow if you walk over the street. You can lose all your money if the banks crash tomorrow.
Oh, you have a guarantee.
They guarantee to double your money.
True. And I tell you, I use a lot of time trading. I would love just to sit and don't use all the time. I use 16 hours a day to trade.
Yeah.
So for me, if this is real as it looks like and it's great as it looks like, so I will dive in.
I can tell you that I speak to the CEO every week almost. Oscar Lopez. Yeah. Yeah. And the more I listen to him and his vision and the way forward, the more I'm confident this company, and he said so, he cannot wait to show all the critics that he's going to build the biggest company in affiliate marketing in the world. And they're going to be super rich, just like Elon Musk or something. I mean, when they get to, now there are 200,000 members. Imagine in 5 years, everybody has a 100K contract, and that doubles. They keep $70,000 from everyone. That's $14 billion profit every year. How many companies make 14 billion profits owned by 2 people?
But they are not keeping the 70%. They are just working.
No, when they double your money and you don't have any bigger contract to go to, so 100K is the biggest contract. After that, they keep the 70K, but they still trade to double your money. So they keep $70,000 from every $100,000 contract. So they are extremely profitable.
That's what we were wondering.
Yeah. So they're gonna only now with 10,000 people reaching 100K within the next year, they're gonna make $700 million in profit, which they can continue to trade on for themselves. Why would you run away from a business where you're making?
Trading accounts are the worth of the company.
Yeah. And why would they, when they have a system like this, run away with initial money when they can keep going for 20 years making 15, $20 billion a year?
But there's no ways to run.
There's no way to
The
run.
whole world. Yeah,
We know, I mean, Oscar Lopez lives in Orlando with his 4 children and wife. He is somebody that we have several people that's been to see him. They know where he lives. His father is a famous lawyer in Panama. They know where his holiday house is in Dominican Republic. There is a small chance that, and we checked him out. We checked that he is a billionaire. We found out that he has companies that owns about 15,000 apartments. I mean, there is no way, unless you really got sick up in your brain, that you would try to do something stupid when you are in that position. And this guy is not stupid. I've talked to him several times. He's can't wait to come to Scandinavia. This is really his target list and bucket list, both him and Edwin Abba. And they really want to be around to kick off, events and stuff like that. So we hope to get them across this summer if things open up and have events both in Copenhagen, Stockholm, and Oslo. That is the plan. So in my opinion, there is not a single chance that these guys are fraudsters. So far, they've shown that they're extremely good at trading, and the risk is very low because they've never been negative one single day. And if you look at the system that you can actually start with as little as $300,000, $500,000, like I did, and suddenly I actually only have 2 good people and 2 okay people, which in a year has made me make an income of close to $100,000 a month or more. That means I don't have to spend time trading myself anymore. And I much rather be around meeting nice people like you guys, having some parties in between and show how people can make money like this and know that my income is going to increase every month.
And where is the we trade?
Where's
The money, the contract money get traded by
EverFX?
EverFX.
But they're looking now to find 8 or 10 more brokers because they realize that they're becoming so big now that they have to have more brokers and spread the risk.
You said that I could see the system where we trade.
Yeah, because we had some direct access through one of the ambassadors. We also saw Edwin Abbott show us the trading accounts where they were doing live trading.
They also said that that's gonna come third party.
There is coming a third-party verification very shortly, so they have a company who's going to going through everything. And remember, in a very short time, they're launching officially copy trading for everybody. I'm already part of the test team, meaning that what's the point of when everything is on your own account? They cannot run away with the money. It's your money. They charge a fee through the system of 30%, only when you win trades. So, as I said to quite a few people now, if you look at the world today, everybody still, because of the governments, they want you to study hard, get a job, find a wife or a husband, and buy a house, get your kids, and just live this one-way life, instead of getting ready for a totally different scenario where you actually can do whatever you feel like, what you like, what's your hobbies, what's your interest. And you don't have to worry about they cannot pay the bill every month because you don't have a job. And how many people have seen this now during this COVID that they lost their job? Even people I met that both of them had a fantastic job, bought a new house, really expensive house, and now they have no clue how they're going to pay for it because both lost their jobs. They thought they were secure. They thought everything was done, and it wasn't so secure anyway.
I think people don't realize that the world has changed. The 8 to 16 or 9 to 17 job, it's actually you need to make your money work for you instead of your work for your money. And it's going to be like it's good.
And of course, a lot of people have to do that in the future as well. But automation, robots, smart computers will change a lot. A lot of people will not get a job. And that means unless you find smart, good ways to make more money, you're going to be minimum earners all the time.
And we don't want that to.
What do you think, guys? Any questions?
That's the reason we're here.
So, and of course, I can log on. I can show you a little bit how it works. I can show you, for example, how my son's account is $20,000. He has 0 people in his team.
Do that.
I can show you my account. Because this is, of course, about trust and evidence. As long as you are certain that things are real. I mean, if you were 100% about certain things like this, you would probably leave your job and just do this all on, full on.
That's the plan. Very soon.
And he helped those 3 people to get 3 each in 4 levels down. That means a total organization of 120. I have a team of 14,000 people made in just over a year. So 120 people is something everybody can get because you only need 3 people. And if you look at how that works with a $1,000 contract, you get the union level bonus of 1,800. You have a fast start of 450. You have a matrix income of 1,044, the trading, 1205, totally 4,400. Just look what it happens after maybe another 2 years when they go from $1,000 to $10,000 or 20,000. And then the new matrix gives you 2,000 with all. Suddenly you're at 44,000, almost $45,000. Then let's go to the biggest contract, $100,000 and 20,000 matrix. That's pretty good with only 3 people that you started with. That's
And totally 120 people now.
only
120.
Only 120, exactly,
and you
exactly.
only have 2 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess most of you guys don't make that kind of money in a few years. Why would you not start with at least something to join this, having this opportunity? Because you never know who's going to be your star person. And think about it, I only started with $300 and I only had 2 good people, still only have 2 good people in my front line. That's the only reason I'm not president yet, because I knew that there.
But of course, if you want to get to these kind of amounts, you have to put in some work.
I mean, I now got paid in level 9 as well, meaning I'm a director. Still, we're just over 1,000 people. I can tell you my son has more than 4,000 people in his matrix. He has 0 in his unit level. But this is the kind of money he's gonna make just from the matrix in some years. Doing nothing. Don't even try to disclose the name because you want to make it really interesting. You want to make it really something exclusive. So everybody that starts begging, oh, I want to know the money, the name, I want to check it out first. I said, sorry, when you're ready, come tell me, I'll invite you for a meeting. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. That's the best way to make big money in this. Make people hungry.
I don't exactly get how the ranking system works.
So the ranking system works in a way that once you have 3 people that you sponsor directly, and they together with you create an income in the last 30 days or kind of contract sales for the company of $50,000 or more, you get to level executive.
Okay.
And then to become manager, you have to have 2 executives in your team plus $150,000 last 30 days.
Okay.
And then manager means two. Well, two executives was the manager, then director is two managers, and $500,000 last 30 days.
Okay.
As I said, it's no problem to make money, withdraw money. Trading pool is paid out every Saturday. This is the money they made the first 2 days this week. 1.96, so that's $1,000 there.